This is part two of my discussion on age gap relationships, and I'm going back a few years. I'm 53 now, but I'm going back a few years now to when I was 19, and I don't disclose to anyone in any of my YouTube clips what religious organisation I belong to, but. When I was 19 at the time, and at my place of worship, there was a young woman in her early 20s. She was a bit old, a bit older than me, and she was dating a bloke. Americans would call it a guy, a man, in other words, and he was in his 40s, and my mum and dad didn't quite know what to make of this relationship. They just they thought it seemed odd to say the very least. But there was a little girl at the place of worship that I befriended, and she was 15 years younger than me. She was 4, and one I was I had this bound. I was showing an illustration in a bound volume to her once, and out of the blue, she just told me that she liked me, and it told me, my parents about it, and they just they just thought it was rather amusing, really, and they were rather amused by it, and they said I was in a similar situation to this man who was in his 40s. He was going out with a young woman who was so much younger than her. But age gap relationships can be a bit of a touchy subject when the younger person is a teenager, really, because when an older person is dating a teenager, it seems like very much of a mismatch, and it's very much a taboo subject, especially in today's world, for older persons to show a sexual interest in teenagers, because let's face it, when you're dating somebody, you are in effect showing a sexual interest in them, because but does it's a touchy subject, really. It's I mean, this I tell you this. This young woman's brother was actually dating a 13-year-old girl. Well, 13 or 13 or 14, and he was in his early 20s when he was going out with her. So I mean, you can say there was something even more odd about that, really. But and but they're married with children now. They actually got married when she was very young, when she was just 16 or 17, because you could get married at that age then, with your parents' consent. You can't now. It's this year it was made illegal for anyone under the age of majority to get married, which was 18. The reason why they passed this law, it was because of the government were concerned about 16 and 17-year-olds being forced into marriage by the parents. Being forced into marriages that they didn't want, because a 16 and 17-year-old early this year, a 16 or 17-year-old could marry with the parents' consent. But they were concerned about some parents using that as a legal loophole to force their children into an early marriage when the children themselves, which the children themselves didn't want. But they could make it look as if it was what the children wanted, couldn't they? Just by signing a form, giving their consent to the marriage. In actual fact, it would have been enforced. It could have been something that the children were forced into. So that's why it's been made illegal for minors to get married now. That's for that reason. But in the first part of the video, I mentioned a couple of celebrity age gap relationships. There was Peter Stringfellow and his girlfriend. He was 55, and she was 16 at the time when they were dating. And there was another one, Bill Wyman, and Mandy something or other. He was 47. And she was 13 when they were dating. But the first one didn't lead to marriage, but the second one did. But Bill Wyman and this girl eventually did get married when she was 18. But he was in his 50s. But does it all seem a bit Freaky Friday to you, all this? Bits. You know what I mean? Does it all seem a bit freakish? I'll be doing a bit more research into age gap relationships for the third part of this discussion. No, do you think age gap relationships are okay, or do you think there's something freakish about it? I mean. I don't know if anyone ever watched the children's TV series Grange Hill. There was the story of that was a bit ambiguous at times. There was a 16-year-old girl in it who seemed to be dating a teacher. It wasn't made quite clear in it whether she was or she wasn't, but there was. Because of the controversy caused by it, he quit his job, and this girl eventually found out that she was dating somebody else, and she was very upset about it. She cried, but it wasn't really made quite that clear whether. They were really dating in the first. The story was a bit sort of ambiguous. I don't know if you know. I don't know if you ever watched Grange Hill. I don't know if you know the girl I'm talking about, but it was just a controversial subject because of the age difference between them. The 16-year-olds are usually dating their fellow pupils, aren't they? That's just usually as far as they go. They don't. I've never heard of one dating the teacher. Anyway, I'll be after a bit more research. I'll be back soon with part 3 of this discussion. Bye.